This song right here is about being nice to people that love you. No, it's not. The Valium is irritating in a spot that I feel. I'd like to chill, but I'm hot on the heels of something real rough, rotten, concealed under the fluff, under the peel of everyday life. Let's see what the thunder reveals. Nights like these bring the drizzle that's frozen. The pistol holding kids hoping they can skid with the notion the shit's a potent biz, manipulating those with open lids, grabbing the crumbs, hurting feelings with the flapping of tongues, acting like bums that's in dire need of retribution. Try and feed the next confusing thought to somebody body, just nobody bloody and wounded on the inside. Just hide, ain't no way to prove it to you this time. Is that okay? Why the fuck you got those standards, Mac, to keep them all in cadence, make them scream when they answer back? Yes sir, of course sir, there's things that I can magically do, Mac, you like when I'm exactly like you, except for one thing. You will scream till your lungs sting, knowing that there's one king and that king is you. You had enough dreams knowing that once you're at the top, ain't no going back unless you're laying face first, bleeding with an open back. Somebody, not your buddy, stabbed you to meet your standards, to be just like you. They had to, I mean you said it, to reach for the throne, and then they did it. Your spotlight got shut off in an instant, shifted. You need to give people room to write a different rhythm than the Mac Lethal tune. Anti-social self-eat shit, regroup and reassess your weakness that's the way it is. Stop picking at your girlfriend before your girlfriend is his, alright? It's fine, in due time she may bloom to a new kind. She may stand a little taller with a new spine. For now, calm down with the rages and pawn that crown for some patience. Just take it. She got a good handshake and a kiss, but understand me now, I don't give a fuck about a moment that ain't this. Life's a bitch and her mood don't change, it don't switch. Now she's chained to my wrist with a good handshake and a kiss, but understand me now, I don't give a fuck about a moment that ain't this. Life's a bitch and her mood don't change, it don't switch. Now she's chained to my wrist.
Luck of the Irish doesn't apply to me unless I'm too drunk to notice. I let the potion that I'm groping focus on emotions, while I focus on the fact that crushing the fakes is a job too hard for one man to take. I need a belt with some metal attached to snap, cripple and stop phonies who dribble up crap, who think actions through gun blasting is actually cool, and putting a mother's son in a casket doesn't seem so rude. Listen, motherfuckers, reality bites harder than you clowns do to the rappers you like. Life is what you make it, don't mistake it with the films that you watch. What goes around comes around, like the villain you jock. Too many emulate the actions of others, yet under the covers with lovers there's a softer side beneath the blubber. Rapping like you're tough when you're not is worse than talking to cops. This pillow talk has gotta stop for the love of God. Living lavish rapping while lacking passion has no advantage. If the fans you establish give you status, I'm just a spot on this planet without commercials interest. Even if you haven't heard this every 20 minutes, would you still think in your purse to get it? The bitch and her mood doesn't change. I would move, but I'm chained to this girl like we used to be engaged. Divorce isn't an option, so I cop it on the chin. Take what she throws and live to fight another gust of wind. Let your influence be the man in the mirror, not the man you admire. Haters and biters love to seek out the tired. Let that whiskey soak in your system till you feel like the victim, until you're tough enough to fuck with cunts and wake up in prison. Piss out that courage, that endurance that you had from that bourbon. Find your purpose was worthless, driven by your liquid encouragement. Now your victim's craving that same blood that he once tasted. Youth is like diamonds in the sun, little bitches.
She got a good handshake and a kiss, but understand me now, I don't give a fuck about a moment that ain't this. Life's a bitch and her mood don't change, it don't switch. Now she's chained to my wrist with a good handshake and a kiss, but understand me now, I don't give a fuck about a moment that ain't this. Life's a bitch and her mood don't change, it don't switch. Now she's chained to my wrist forever.